FromSoftware's new game is the Duskbloods. Let's check it out.
A couple of days ago, FromSoftware revealed the Duskbloods, which is coming exclusively to the Nintendo Switch 2 sometime in 2026. And while it shares Bloodborne's aesthetic, it's not a single-player experience. No, you wouldn't know it from the trailer, but it's actually a PvPvE game, meaning you'll not only be fighting against environmental enemies, but also 7 other players as well. Just today, a new interview dropped, and it's revealed a ton of new details about the game. So here's what I've learned from this trailer and the interview with director Hidetaka Miyazaki as well. Let's begin with the setting. So according to Miyazaki, the game's setting is not locked to a specific location or time period. There are classic maps with Gothic or Victorian atmospheres, yes, but also maps with a late modern feel, featuring elements like trains, as was
Oh, okay. This is interesting. I've only played Elden Ring. I've not played any of the other From Software games, the Souls games. But I didn't know. I saw this was announced for the Switch 2, but I haven't actually seen anything about it. That's interesting that there's different time zones. I wonder how that's going to work.
Briefly seen in the trailer. Our characters are a part of the Bloodsworn, a clan with superhuman abilities that have been gained through the power of special blood. Akin to vampires in a general sense, but with more of a romantic focus on their actual bloodline, their accumulated history, their inherited power, their fate, and what it means to surpass humanity. To some characters, apparently surpassing humanity means strapping a jetpack onto your back and zooming off into the sunset. To other characters, it's being able to ride a headless horse or jump over an entire city. You'll notice all of these player abilities seem to...
It's interesting to see how they've started releasing multiplayer games. This is obviously a direction they want to go in. It's going to be interesting to see if this is something they do moving forward. But I think they did come out the other day and say that they are still having a massive focus on single player games as well, right? So maybe it's just something to keep them occupied creatively, I guess. Because Night Rain looks interesting as well, which is obviously out, next month? So it's interesting that they've got 2 multiplayer games in the next 12 months.
To enable their traversal of the map, which are abilities that I'd wager will be really important in a game like this, where...
Oh, hey, how's it going? I'm Pen and Paper Guy. And I'm Motion. Well, I have a system.
8 of you are going to be fighting inside of what looks like a very large, intricate world. Some other character abilities we've seen are
8.
more combat-based, and they seem to match the aesthetics of the characters using them as well. That's important, I think. This young boy, for example, can levitate, and he has psychic ability.
That looks like the moon from Majora's Mask. Or a next gen. That's what the moon would look like in a Majora's Mask next gen remake.
Abilities that allow him to lift nearby foes and slam them into the ground. And that matches his aesthetic. John Duskblood over here wields a saber and an assault rifle, and he looks pretty damn elegant while he's floating and firing through the air. My point is that clearly all of these are preset characters that one can choose to play, and indeed Miyazaki confirms and expands on this point, pointing out...
My concern about having a... the first thing that came to my mind when I read about this is having any sort of Souls-like, Elden Ring-like game on a Switch, on a handheld, is launching it after a boss fight. The amount of times that I've launched my controller, I wouldn't... That is a massive red flag for me in playing this type of game on a handheld.
That there are well over 10 named characters that you can choose from to play. He then elaborates, stating that while these are distinct characters, players can customize each character's blood history and fate to a certain extent. So you can tweak aspects of your character, like their abilities, their techniques, their appearance, their inner traits, their roles within the world and their relationships with other characters, apparently. There's one feature I find the most fascinating though, and that's the roles system. I think it's something that Miyazaki has been cooking up for a while. So few people know about this.
Elden Ring creator is looking to multiplayer games like Escape from Tarkov for inspiration. He is also stopping short of promising any future new Elden Ring content for now.
This article, but 2 years ago, Miyazaki went on record expressing an interest in Escape from Tarkov, of all things. It's this brutal, high-stakes battle royale game where players are dropped into a hostile world that's filled with other scavengers and you have to fight to survive and loot. And Miyazaki said he was interested in how the player themselves in games like this could be one of the resources for the gameplay. And now, with the addition of roles in the Duskbloods, I think we finally see what Miyazaki meant by players becoming a resource. So basically, when you join a game in the Duskbloods, the system will assign you a special role or mission, which Miyazaki says can create unique relationships between players. So a player with the destined rival.
This looks nothing like what I had in my head. Like dinosaurs and guns and trains and yeah. Intriguing.
Role, for example, will have another player marked as their rival, and so defeating them will become a personal objective for you. Another example would be the fated companion role, where a player can seek out the one marked as their companion in return for special rewards. Apparently, roles like this can be set through the same bloodline customization we mentioned earlier, and Miyazaki likes this because it allows players to engage in literal role-playing with their character, which he thinks will add a layer of drama to the gameplay. That's a pretty original idea. I like it. So, while the basic goal is, somewhat predictably, to be the sole survivor in your pool of 8 other players, your victory condition can change. Defeating a formidable boss can become the victory condition as well, for example. Apparently, it's even possible to win a game by...
So I wonder if this is just going to be like Night Rain then? Like, what's the difference? I know there's probably not a lot of information, but do you, like, drop in with, like, 8 other people and then you've got a time limit, or is it just, like, an ongoing thing? I don't really understand. I don't really get it.
Avoiding direct combat and earning enough victory points. Clearly, while this is a PvP game, you don't need to be a PvP god to succeed.
Adobe Acrobat AI Assistant is super helpful because it allows me to weed through everything that I don't need and get...
I think that's an important point. It's also worth pointing out that Miyazaki says every character has some means of attacking distant targets, which is a distinguishing feature compared to their other titles. They've also included partner-like entities that each player can summon, not unlike the Spirit Ash summons in Elden Ring that help you with difficult PvE encounters. And remember, there are going to be PvE encounters in this game as well. Unlike Night Rain, which seems to be drawing really heavily from pre-existing enemies and models and animations.
Yeah, Night Rain, like, I'm getting Night Rain just because I've had so much fun with Elden Ring playing co-op with one of my friends, who actually got me back into the game after I struggled a lot on my own because I just didn't know what I was doing. But like it's super fun co-op, like fighting bosses, and doing areas together. So Night Rain should be good. My concern about it is it might just get like a bit dull too easily too quickly if there's not like a whole lot of variety. So I'm not really. This seems similar in some aspects, but
everything we've seen in this so far seems to be very unique and very original. So when you die against these enemies, or defeat the main boss, or achieve your victory condition, or fail your victory condition, whatever that is, you'll return to your base. A hub world, like the Hunter's Dream, for example, where players will receive rewards from their previous run, and then can use those rewards to further customize their characters. In this place, Miyazaki specifies that this winged rat actually serves a role that's similar to the Firekeepers in Dark Souls. Voiced as an elderly gentleman, this rat offers guidance and advice to the protagonist. In the interview, Miyazaki brings up this rat as an instance where they tried to incorporate a touch of Nintendo's charm into the game, which I feel you can definitely see in some of the more fantastical elements, like this grinning moon. Though clearly they're still going for a disturbing vibe with this game. This
That looks so weird.
smiling toad will haunt my dreams tonight. Oh, and it wouldn't be a 3-minute FromSoftware trailer without me overanalyzing the lore, would it? So, in the end...
I think I've seen enough of this. It looks interesting. Is it enough to make me want to get a Switch too? No. I think I'd need more information personally. It looks like... It looks intriguing, but... is it going to be... Is Switch 2 going to have the power to, like, make it run smooth? Again, maybe it's just a me problem, but I wouldn't want to, like... I can't imagine playing a game like this on a handheld. I just can't. I just think it's too infuriating. And I'm not even sure how that would feel on the Switch, playing that on the Switch compared to, like, an Xbox controller. Yeah, I'm not totally sold on that. I'm not as excited as a lot of people are about this, to be honest with you. Yeah. Definitely not enough to make me want to get a Switch 2, anyway.